how to check if window exists with Mel and Python in Maya. So going back to the example here where let's use this version. So it's in Mel, window, height, with these values, title. So I select it and I press enter with the numeric keypad on your keyboard, not the regular enter. It will create that window. Now it says my useful window because that's the name I put in the title. Now the problem is, if I delete this top part, right here. So if I select it again and press enter, you're going to get an error because I named this window my window. It doesn't have to have quotation marks when you use Mel, but it's going to say object name is not unique. If the window already exists, you can't create a new one. So sometimes you might want to update it, or to avoid that problem, like if the windows exist, delete it and create it again. So to check if a window exists, what you could do in Mel is go to window and then, well, actually, let's go to the help window and press enter on the numeric keypad. If I scroll up, you should see there's an exist flag here. You either use the long name version or the EX, just the short name. So here, using the Mel command, I could do -exists, and I have to give it the name of the window. So I named it that. And if I select this and press enter, 1 means true. 1 means true. And if it doesn't exist, if I close this, it's going to delete it in memory. So if I run the same command as it should run, it should be 0, meaning false. So what do you want to do with this? So if I select this, I'm just going to press enter on my regular keyboard, not the numeric one, just so I can skip the line. If I'm going to you could do if statements in Mel, and I run this command. Now take rid of the semicolon. Now this is particular to Mel, not Python. For this command to work, is going to return true or false, but to get the return in Mel, you have to use the tilde key, or the tilde character, which is on American keyboard on the top above the tab, on the left side of your keyboard. So, or the left of the when button. It looks like a single quotation, but it is not a single quotation. It's tilde, and you put it here as well. So it's going to execute that, and the tilde is going to capture the return, and you could use it in the if. So since it's true or false, you don't have to say equals true. If it's true, if will understand that it's true. If it's false, it will understand that it's false. So you're basically saying if this is true, because you didn't say equals true, by default it means if this is true. You could use the braces here, the squiggly line brackets. And there's another Mel command called error, and you could put in quotations, and I could, just to know it's me who wrote this, I could say stop the window exists. All right. So the thing is, the window doesn't exist right now because I closed it. So if I ran this, nothing should happen. If I select it and press the enter key on my numeric keypad, it didn't write anything. Well, it just printed it out here, but you didn't see an error down here. So it didn't do anything. So now if I go back and actually create the visible window with that same name, it has it up there. Again, I selected it and pressed the enter key on the numeric keypad. Now, if I select this block of code, the C, the F, and press enter on the numeric keypad, now you get the error saying stop, the window exists, because the window actually exists. This command return true, and you use the tilde. Not the single quotation, is a tilde, which is above the tab on your left side on American keyboard, or on the left side of the when button, or right below the escape. It returned true, and the command error actually makes an error print out in red on Maya. And I just could close this. So now if I run this again, I'll just move in the viewport to reset it, and I press enter on the numeric keypad. It doesn't show up. Just to show you, going to the other code here, it's similar to what I just wrote up here to make the window, but there's no visible is not on. There's no visible flag, so basically it's going to create the window, but in memory. Just to show you that, so if I create it, you don't see a window. But if I run this, it's going to tell me an error because this window does exist. And I could run this show window with the name of the window to show that it actually exists here. So just to do the equivalent in Python, if I go to Python here, I'm going to basically create this window and make it visible using the Python version. So the commands, the name of the window, the window command, the name of the window is the first argument with quotations, and then keyword arguments instead of, you have this is a list, this is a string, you comma separate it, and you put equals. True visible is true instead of on because it's a Boolean. And if you press enter on the numeric keypad, it creates the window. And to check it to see if that window exists, what you could do under here, I could write cmd window. So I'm calling the mel command window, and I need to know, you have to pass the name of the window first. This is the name of the window object right here. So then I copy that, I put it in here, and I want to use the flag exists. So you say exists, and you have to say true. So remember in mel, when you use exists without any arguments afterwards, it means true. Here, going back to the Python, window is the name of the window, exists equals true. If I select this and press enter, actually it needs to capture, I'll put it in result. And then I'll select this, press enter. And then if I double click this and press enter on the numeric keypad, it'll tell me true because that window exists. So basically in Python, that's how you capture the results. You could pass it into another variable. Now if I close that window and then run it, press enter on the numeric keypad and then press enter, select the variable result and press enter on the numeric keypad. Now it says false because the window does not exist anymore. And that's how you do it in Python.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.